What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the Miami Heat has suspended Jimmy Butler again. This is a soap opera. I mean, look, I think I was watching TNT last week. I believe it was TNT I was watching, and they were literally calling it a soap opera, and it is. It is. This is exactly like a soap opera, and yeah, these two sides, Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. I don't blame them. Look, the first time the Heat suspended Jimmy Butler, I thought it was a little outrageous, to be honest. But then these last two times, I'm like, yeah, this is Jimmy's fault. The first time, I didn't. I'm not saying I sided with Jimmy Butler. I just didn't side with the Miami Heat. I thought both were acting like children, and with the first suspension. But these last two suspensions, Jimmy Butler, I mean, he not showing up on time to team flights. He thought he was going to fly public or fly on his own. Whether I don't know if he was planning on flying private on his own or if he was going to fly, public. But I know he didn't want to fly with the team and then showed up late for the team plane. That's a huge issue, and that's why I was definitely on the Miami Heat side when they suspended for 2 games. And then this is even crazier, and this shows the child that Jimmy Butler is. I am a huge Jimmy Butler fan. I love watching Jimmy Butler play. If I list probably my top 10 playoff performers, he's on that list. Because I've watched this guy hoop and turn into a guy who was just an all-star in the regular season. I'm not trying to make it seem like he's... Because if you compare the way he plays in the postseason to the way he plays in the regular season, he looks like a megastar in the postseason, and he looks like just a normal all-star in the regular season. Playoff Jimmy it's a different level. It is a different level. And so that's why I love Jimmy Butler, is watching him in the postseason. And if he's going to get traded, I really hope I know most likely we'll get to see him traded to a playoff team, and we'll get to see Jimmy in the postseason, which I think is the best Jimmy you can watch. So, and my dad is also a big Jimmy Butler fan as well, just like I am. And I was on the phone right before recording this, and I told him I'm gonna go on, and talk about Jimmy Butler, and I'm gonna have some words to say about Jimmy that, not so nice. And he was like, no, don't do that about Jimmy. I love Jimmy. And but at the same time, I think a lot of us love Jimmy Butler as a player, but as a person, I think he's a good person as well. But when he acts like this, he's not a good person. He acts like a child. He did this in Minnesota. I don't think the way he acted in Philadelphia was as bad as he acted at the end of his time in Minnesota or the end of his time in Miami, but he didn't act that great in Philadelphia as well. And I think before this year, things have actually been fine with Jimmy as a person and the way he acts with the Heat until things don't go his way, until Pat Riley decides he's not going to give $50 million a year to a guy who's 35 years old and will be 36 years old when he is given the contract. So, yeah, that's where it sounds a little bit nuts. And that's why Jimmy's upset. That's the main reason why Jimmy's upset. And look, I don't think there's a problem with being upset if you're not gonna be wanted to, if the owner or the GM doesn't want to pay you. They don't want to give you the money you're owed, or you think you're owed. That's fine. You can have an attitude about it. You can be upset about it, but you're still under contract. Jimmy is still under contract. He still is being paid to play basketball, and I think you can act the way he's acted being upset about everything off the court. But when you get on the court, not only are you being paid by the NBA and by the Heat to do your job, not only that, but the fans come to watch you. I talked about this in his last suspension that I thought I was mostly upset with about the fan thing is because fans, they come to watch. You're a big star. You're a 6-time All-Star. You're a 5-time All-NBA. You've led this team to multiple finals appearances. You're a superstar, Jimmy Butler, which means fans love you, including me, including many other fans. So fans want to watch you. They want to watch you on your TV, and when you're suspended, that's a letdown. And so it's not just the fans that watch you on TV or pay for a league pass to watch you. It's also the fans that pay money to go see you. I mean, do you know how many fans Jimmy Butler has been suspended now, got suspended like 7 games the first time, 2 games the second time. Now the two game suspension he just had, there weren't any road games. There weren't any home games. But I mean, they had 2 road games. Who knows? It was Milwaukee and Toronto. There could be some fans that bought tickets because they just want to see Jimmy Butler, and they don't get that anymore because of the way he acted. But 5-game suspension he gets now, or more than that. 7-game suspension he had the first time. Fans are being punished, Jimmy, because of the way you act. And look, should Jimmy Butler be a starter on this team? 100%. And I don't really blame the Heat for wanting to make a change because it doesn't seem like Jimmy Butler is 100% is 100% out there. Like he doesn't. I feel like Jimmy Butler, if he's playing 100% his 100% best basketball, he should be a starter. And if the Heat don't think he should be a starter, they're dumb. But here's the thing: Jimmy Butler is not playing his 100% best basketball. He is not putting the effort we usually see him make. It seems like he's playing half-ass out right there. It really seems like he's playing half-ass right now. It does. And with that being said, I think a guy like Haywood Highsmith, who the Heat wanted to play, and put in the starting lineup, I think it'd be a lot better to have him in the starting lineup compared to Jimmy, who's not even really bringing his best effort. And that hurts the team. And I think that also kills team chemistry when you have a guy who's supposed to be the leader, supposed to be the superstar, and he's not even bringing his best basketball in. That doesn't just kill him in his game, but it kills the rest of the team. And so, yeah. Another thing I want to go over before I end this thing is let's also go to the fact that Jimmy's also hurting himself. He's just not hurting the fans. He's not just hurting the team. He's not just hurting the team's chances of trading him. But let's also go over the fact that this whole thing started because of Jimmy Butler wanting money. Him wanting to get the money that he feels like he's deserved. Can you really sit here and tell me that Jimmy Butler is going to get the money that he thought that he earned or was worth before this all happened? Do you really think Jimmy Butler is going to get that type of money from any team after all this? I don't think any team was going to give him $50 million a year before this. Maybe there's 1 or 2 teams that would be willing to do that. I don't think that's true though. But there is nobody in the league that wants to pay Jimmy Butler the amount of money he wants anymore because of the way he's acted yet again in his career. And nobody wants a guy who shows up late to planes or doesn't show up at all, leaves team shoot around the day of a game because they're not going to start him, a guy who disrespects the team time and time again because he's upset about what's going on. That is not a good example. That does not show good for locker room, and it doesn't show good for the team at all. And I'm not going to say nobody's going to want Jimmy Butler when he enters free agency next, whether it's this offseason or it's after the 2025-26 season, because he does have a player option at the end of his contract. So he's either going to be a free agent after this year or he's going to be a free agent after next season. So whenever he's a free agent, I'm not going to say no team will want him because there will be a lot of teams that want Jimmy Butler. but they're not going to give him the money he wants, not even close to it, because of the way he's acted and what he has done. And he has killed that. He has killed the chances of him getting a good contract or the contract he wants. And at the same time, not only has he done that, but he's lost over $5 million in the process of it. Lost $3.1 million in being suspended for the first 9 games he was suspended. Now he will lose another it's like 2.7 or 3. I think it's 2 points. He's going to lose another $2.7 million for what he's going to lose another $2.7 million for, this extra suspension. So let me know your thoughts on the suspension in the comment section, and peace out.